Before starting the video, this is part 2, part 1 link in bio. Don't skip or Nanjasis will punish you. In last video I gave a target for part 2 which was never achieved, cries in Gucci. Views were almost 4K but likes were not even near 1K. Mean people. I am still giving you all part because I am nice you. But not for next time because from tomorrow I am going to resume my alpha series. Check that out too. We'll be posting it daily. For this series, part 3 will be posted after 700 plus likes and 70 plus comments. No spamming, so like and comment. Nobody gonna snatch you banana milk, but if you didn't like my video and drop a comment, then I will pray to Nanjasis that your eyebrows come off. Thank you. Outside the building YN, you will regret this. Kim Taehyung, I will make you regret. YN walked towards the road and stopped a cab. After you sat in the cab, driver, where to ma'am?
In Kim Mansion, driver, the Kims, like the billionaire. In HMM, a driver, okay, he drove off to the mansion.
The car stopped in front of a huge mansion. YN got out of the cab after paying the driver. She walked towards the entrance while the cab driver drove away. YN was stopped by security at the entrance. Guard, how can I help you? YN, I wanna meet in ours. Kim. Guard, your name. YN. Lee YN. Guard, reason you are here. YN, I am his son's girlfriend. Guard looked at the other one while the guard shrugged his shoulder. Guard, open the gate. Guard 2, what are you doing? Guard, didn't you heard she is young master's girlfriend? It can be a problem for us. Guard 2, but before check her once. YN signed and said, YN, I just have my phone, ID, and a few dollars. She said, showing them the following things. Guard, okay, come. Gate opened and YN walk inside. Taking a deep breath, she was guided by a working staff towards the living room. Please mom, wait here. I will inform Mrs. Kim about your arrival. YN, okay. YN looked here and there. Everything was screaming expensive. I am painting decoration pieces. The interior, everything was luxurious and expensive. Admiring everything. She flinched when she heard an unfamiliar voice. How many help you? YN looked towards the source of voice and stood up from her place. YN, Mrs. Kim. Mrs. Kim, yes I am, but who are you, honey? Sweet voice. YN in mind, damn sugar mother, and a chilly sun. No, cold chilly sun. Suddenly she flinched again when she felt someone kept his hand on her shoulder. Mrs. Kim, are you all right, sweetheart? YN, no. Teary eyes. Mrs. Kim, oh my, what happened? Why are you crying? She said and hugged her. Mrs. Kim, tell me what's wrong. YN sobbed. Read more. Mrs. Kim made her sit on the couch and sit beside her. Mrs. Kim, Rihanna. Maid Rihanna. Rihanna, yes mom. She came running. Rs Kim, bring a glass of water. Reens, yes mom. She said and ran to bring water while Mrs. Kim consoled YN. YN, I came with so much hope. Sob, as you are a social worker. Sob, Mrs. Kim, of course honey, it's my job to support women and save them, so tell me, how can I help you? YN, I am pregnant. Mrs. Kim, YN, with your son's child. Mrs. Kim's eyes widened and she stood up from her place. Mrs. Kim, wet. Making YN flinch. Other side. Office. Taehyung was in his thoughts. Suddenly someone came in without permission and sat in front of him. Jimin, you look tense. Taehyung, another mother of my imaginary baby. Jimin, lol. Don't they know? The Kim Taehyung never lost his virginity. Taehyung glared at him while Jimin chuckled. Jimin, but why are you tense about it? Must be some gold digger. Looking to fetch some money from billionaire. Taehyung cleared his throat. Taehyung, remember almost 5 weeks ago we went to club? Jimin, yeah, the night you disappeared. Taehyung, Jimin, what about it? Taehyung, that girl talked about that night. Jimin, and Taehyung, I don't remember anything about that night. Jimin, so? Is she taking advantage of that or something? Taehyung hesitated, which Jimin definitely noticed. Jimin, tell me already. Tae bit his lips. Taehyung, I don't remember, but Jimin, but what? Taehyung, I. No, you Jimin, what tilde? Taehyung, when woke up the next morning. I was. Taehyung said hurriedly while Jimin froze. After a few minutes of silence. Jimin, that baby is yours. Taehyung, no. Jimin smiled forcefully. Jimin, how are you sure? Taehyung, I met that girl next morning. When she was dressing. And she said, drunk mistakes happen, but let's never meet again. Jimin, so the one who said about the baby. Was she someone else? Taehyung, I just talked to her on call. But the voice is different. Jimin, whatever it is, we don't know who is speaking the truth. Taehyung, yeah. I am confused. What if the baby is actually mine? Jimin, what if? Taehyung, it's mine, so I am responsible to marry the one and be a good dad, but maybe she is lying. Jimin, we need to confirm before trusting anybody. Maybe you slept with two one by one. Taehyung signed. Taehyung, I don't know, but he gulped. Jimin narrowed his eyes. Taehyung, somewhere I want that baby too. Be mine. Jimin smirked. Jimin, baby to be yours or the mother? Taehyung, what? I didn't even see her. Jimin, but you heard her voice. Taehyung went into his thinking. Remembering the honey voice he heard, that made his heart go boom boom. Jimin, love at first sight is common, but love at first voice. Wow. Taehyung, shut up. I am not. Phone rings. Wait, picks up the call. Precap, Jimin, if you don't like her, then give her to me. Taehyung, nonsense. Jimin, seriously, look at her beauty. I don't care whose baby is that, yours or someone else. The mother so hot that I am ready to be the dad of the baby.